Ja, hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Planescape Torment. Wir haben beim letzten Mal unsere Party etwas erweitert, um diesen Kollegen hier.
Ignus hears you.
Ja, der so ein bisschen schwierig drauf ist. Wir können ja gleich mal gucken, wie er so drauf ist. Das hier war ja, so wie wir das beim letzten Mal, als wir mit ihr geredet haben, ganz am Anfang des Spiels verstanden haben, sowas ähnliches wie seine Freundin. As you approach the woman to talk to her, Ignus' eyes flare up, and before you can stop him, he embraces her. She returns his embrace, losing herself in his flames. She does not cry out. Your last glimpse of her is burned into her memory. Her eyes are full of fury, passion, and all-engulfing love. Nothing is left of her, not even ashes. So, haben wir gleich mal einen kleinen Eindruck davon bekommen, wie der Kollege so drauf ist. That was thorough, Ignus, and hasty. I wanted to speak with her. So, die wäre weg. Danke, Freund. Also wir sehen schon, der ist, ja, schwierig. Will irgendjemand Ärger? Wir haben hier einen brennenden Bekloppten bei uns, nicht? Gut. Dann wollen wir da gleich mal gucken. Mal sehen, was unsere Freunde so zu ihm zu sagen haben. Our travels. Okay, du hast nichts zu sagen. Dann gucken wir uns mal Ignus an. Bargefee. Ja, die ist, No more talk and wonder. Ignus wishes to burn. Ignus burns so long ago. Yet, once Ignus knew nothing of flames. He set small fires, tiny flames, tiny flickerings. The fires grew. Ignus set fires in their streets and lit the fires of anger in their hearts. They sought to punish Ignus, the small flies from the hive. They wished to see Ignus burn after Ignus set fire to their streets. Tiny magelings, hedge wizards, woundcasters. Tiny sparks of magic came to punish Ignus for hunting their loved ones. They sentenced Ignus to burn, made Ignus a torch, a spitting flame, burning. It was justice, they said, but it was not a sentence. There's so much flames and pain that is no pain. There's light and heat, and the flesh runs as tallow across my bones. And for the first time, Ignus was pleased. When the plains burn and all life is torches, then Ignus shall at last be at peace. Jo, ich würde sagen, das klingt hochsympathisch. Also ein kleiner, Brandstifter im wahrsten Sinne des Wortes. Dessen Stimme definitiv nicht gut für die meine ist. Eine Sekunde mal kurz. Okay, da bin ich wieder. Ein bisschen Nachschlag an mein Getränk geholt, sodass wir auch die folgende Passage überleben, oder ich zumindest die folgende Passage überlebe. Wir werden jetzt nämlich mal mit Ignus sprechen. Flames curl around Ignus' throat. Ja, so fühle ich mich auch, wenn ich diese Stimme spreche. Ignus, what happens to you to make you this way? This way? A small pocket of flesh on Ignus' cheek pops and runs in a streaming trickle down his jaw. This way? Ignus always was. But you look human. Or at least you look like you were human. Once. Ignus twists, hunching his head forward as his body spins slowly above the ground. The effect is much like a fiery whirlwind, thermal streaming off his body and distorting the air around him. Still Ignus. Always Ignus. Ja. Besonders gesprächig bist du auch nicht. As you open your mouth to speak, Ignus suddenly whirls at you. You are forced to choke back your words as the heat from his flame floods over you. Ignus, might you be Sparks and bodies, always seeking to rise. Sparks and bodies? What do you mean? All things burn inside. Ignus' head cranes back and throws his arms wide, spurts of flame and heat traveling up his arms. Only need to be kindled with flames to become Ignus. So might you have been, Ignus. Actually, if you end up trying to kindle the flames within people, you usually end up killing them. Yeah, well... So you're saying everyone has the potential to become like you, with the right spark. Yes. Ignus grins, cocking his head to one side, ashes falling from his skull and being swept up in the flame wreath that surrounds him. Right. Okay. Hiss. Ein äußerst unangenehmes Hissgeräusch. Your heart jumps as Ignus soars several feet into the air and his jaw tears open, fiery trails spilling forth like a nest of snakes. No more talk and questions. Silence! But I wish to speak of flames. You will answer my questions, Ignus. I set you free and I may send you back to your hell again. Ja, ich weiß nicht, unter Druck setzen ist mir so ein bisschen instabil dafür. Also nicht, dass er hier... but I wish to speak of flames, Ignus. Ah, ja, das Richtige. Your words are like oil. Fantastisch. Das hast du schon, wie hieß das, die Alley auf Dangerous Angles niedergebrannt, oder was das war da? Wollen wir dich mal nicht zu sehr aufregen, nicht, dass der Rest der Stadt auch noch niederbrennst. And you watch them fill Ignus' eyes, fanning the flames you see there. Flames? Ignus drifts down slightly, the heat around him rising as if in interest. Speak. Ignus will listen. Ah. What happened to you to make you this way? Yes. Is it true you burned down the alley of dangerous angles? Ignus' face splits, the flesh around the corner of his mouth cracking, then re-melting into charred, sneering red and black pieces. Yes, a dream shall Ignus share. Maybe later. For now I wish to speak more of burn. A torrent of flames pours from Ignus, and you take a step back, the air bending from the heat. Streets at night, so cold. Ignus burned the buildings, the dwellers. All ran from Ignus. The flames and the buildings were as flames. Screams and the dwellers became torches. Listen quietly, wait for his ranting to die. Buildings as skeletons. Angles, bodies as skeletons. Reds and oranges, orange and blacks, the flames spreading, caressing such lights. Ignus' fury dies, the wreath of flame surrounding him ebbing somewhat. He seems to be lost in thought, perhaps lost in memory. And Ignus was pleased. Flames? This is... What we are doing is more in corpse bar. For a moment you don't think Ignus has hurt you, when suddenly the fires in his eyes dim slightly, and he gives a soft hiss, cinders and ash dancing at the edges of his jaw. Ignus once knew nothing of flames. Yes? Das hatten wir schon. Nothing of flames, he said. Small fires, tiny flames, tiny flickerings, small bits of flame. The fires grew. Ignus set fires on the streets and lit the fires of anger in their hearts. You speak, but Ignus doesn't seem to hear you. He seems to be somewhere else, as if reliving a memory through its words. Against your will, you stop and listen. They sought to punish Ignus. So, das hatten wir doch schon. I guess I had enough. Ja, machen wir's. They sought and to punish Ignus, the small flies from the hive. They wished to see... Achso, das war in der Biography. They wished to see Ignus burn. After Ignus set fire to their streets. Tiny magelings, hedge wizards, runecasters, tiny sparks of magic came to punish Ignus for hurting their loved ones. They sentenced Ignus to burn, make Ignus a torch. A spitting flame, burning, burning. It was justice, they said. Justice. You watch, mesmerized, as Ignus begins slowly turning again, as he did above the grill in the smoldering corpse. But it was not a sentence. There's so much flames and pain that there is no pain. There's light and heat, and the flesh runs as tallow across my bones. And for the first time, Ignus was pleased. He's pleased, Ignus stops his rotation, and his gaze falls upon you. As it does, the fires in his eyes flare, and a charred grin splits his features. The flesh crackling and bubbling as it melts, it seems across his face. Ignus wears the face of all hells, of flames, and his next words are spoken like a death sentence, not only for you, but for everyone, everywhere. When the plains burn and all life is torches, then Ignus shall at last be at peace. Ignus, I spoke with a storyteller in the hive, Ermit Weakwind, and he mentioned that someone taught you these things. Who? Of learnings and teachings, you know. Gouts of flame erupt from Ignus' mouth in a horrid semblance of laughter. You have always taught Ignus. Ignus' master, you were. Ignus' master, you were. Oh Gott, das ist einfach. Me? Ja, super.
Updated my journal.
Ignus' voice drops, and the crackling of the flame dies. Yes, it is the only reason. Ignus obeys you. Flame rises around him in a crackling spiral. Till death comes for us both. Your words to me, to your student Ignus. Ignus has not forgotten, master. Oh God. Ignus, if I was your master, can you remember anything about me? It must have been long ago when you learned the art. Are you absolutely sure it was me? Yes. Many lessons you taught, Ignus. But the face has changed. If my face has changed, how do you know? Inside all things, tiny flames, the spark. The flames, the same. No matter what, the skin can bleed, skin can burn, but inner flame remains. Ignus, this is important. Can you remember anything about me? Ignus hisses, and for a moment his features flicker. At first you think it's the flame, but it's not. It's the flickering of a memory. Surrender to the memory. The crackling of Ignus' flame subsides, lessening as the charred bones of Ignus' body fold up, twisting into itself until his limbs lie motionless, becoming a stack of wood within a huge iron fireplace. You are staring into a fire, burning brightly within a vaulted room. The fire crackles and spits embers onto the stone floor, motes rising from the fireplace. Faintly, from the darkness behind you, you can hear the rasp of someone breathing. I can hear you. Step into the light. There's the shuffling of sandals, and the frail youth steps into the edges of the firelight. His wide black eyes catch the flames and mirror them. He is nervous. You can hear his muscles shaking, his voice trembling, just enough to increase your irritation. Forgive my intrusion, master. You have already intruded, supplicant. You did so with intention. I will hear it now, then you will leave me to my thoughts. The boy takes a deep breath and glances at the fire. Master, I dreamed of flames again last night. They felt real, and you said that we were to come to you if... It was a dream, nothing more. Now leave. The boy does not move. His brows draw together and slowly he displays his hands. The flesh around the fingers, blackened, burned. How did your hands come to be burned, supplicant? I awoke and my hands were as ash. The boy meets your gaze. He is still trembling, faintly, but there is some eagerness in his voice which angers you. I dreamt I soared above the earth, and the ground and sky were as fire. The world itself was so bright that it hurt to look at it, master. And when I awoke, my hands, they were burned, as if I had held a flame within my hands. You lie, supplicant. You have come to me with a story, and now you are in danger of angering me. No, master. The boy's face glistened with a sweaty sheen of fear. No, upon my life, I do not. You burnt yourself with a candle, supplicant, or thrust your hand within one of the pyres in the vault of currents. Now you come to me and tell me a dream burnt you? I tire of your lies. The boy falls silent, and to your surprise his face clenches in anger. No, I do not lie. It was the dream that burnt me, master. As you said it might if we felt the power stirring. They were your words, and I came to repeat them to you and tell you they are true. He holds up his hands. Look, master. Grab his hands. Before the boy can react, your hand, huge in comparison, lashes out, crushing his burned hands in its grip. And the boy screams, echoing in the vault. With a snarl, you hurl him to the ground in front of the fireplace, and there's a sharp crack as his knees strike the flagstones. Wow. Mann, you're ein Arsch. Look into those flames, supplicant. Raise your head. Look. The boy is shuddering from the pain from his knees. You watch tears blur his eyes as he raises his head to look into the fireplace. The flames cast his face in a red, gaunt glow. Is that what you wish to hold, supplicant? Is the shaping of flames what stirs your heart? Know that flames can burn, and if you would learn their power, you must suffer their touch. Da schmeißen wir jetzt ein Kind in den Kamin, oder was? The boy is silent, staring into the flames. He seems mesmerized. His tears have dried in the heat, and the shaking is gone. The flames are his focus. He's not listening to you, and you feel fury washing over you. If that is what consumes you, enough for you to intrude upon my meditations, then I shall teach you of the shaping of flames, supplicant. Your hand lashes out and clamps onto the boy's wrist. He holds as you drag him closer to the fireplace and thrust his hands into the coals. There's a crackling, a hissing of burning flesh, and his screams, such terrible, yet... To learn you must suffer, supplicant. You must allow yourself to be burned by the power of that which you wield. Know its torment, and you shall know how to use it against your enemies. Interessanter pädagogischer Ansatz.
Updated my journal.
Your vision clears. The memory is streaming away like smoke. Ignus is hovering above you, his head cocked to one side, and an insane blackened grin smeared across his face. Master, Ignus has not forgotten your teachings. Nee, das hätte ich glaube ich auch nicht. Okay, natürlich sind wir wieder verantwortlich für die ganze Scheiße. Man hätte es sich denken können. I wish to speak more flames. Your mastery of the art, can you teach me any of your powers? Ignus once knew much, no longer. Ignus burns in suffering. Ignus learns. A tiny flame gusts from his mouth like laughter, and a stream of ember spits forth. Suffer. Learn. I am willing to suffer for such knowledge. As you are about to speak the words, you feel a crawling sensation at the back of your skull, and you are suddenly struck with the certainty that the knowledge Ignus has to teach may permanently scar you, but you don't know how you know this. I am willing to suffer. Suffer? Flames flicker eagerly along the edges of Ignus' mouth, spiraling up along the melted ruin of his face. Burn? Pieces of self are burned away. Ignus may still teach much. I wish to learn, Ignus. Can you teach me some of the art? Where flames once burned, one may send them again. Before you can react, Ignus' claws lashes out and clutches your finger, and with a greedy hiss, he burns it. And through the searing pain, you close your eyes and scream. Minus 1 HP. You force your eyes open to see the burning mass of your hand from where Ignus touched it. He floats above, uncaring, cradling your finger, then snaps the tip off, leaving just the base. He hisses, cinders and ash drifting from his mouth, and he flicks the charred remains of your finger back at you. What did you do?
Updated my journal.
Teachings. Ignus cackles, the sound now strangely painful to your eyes. To learn, one must suffer. Ja, na gut, das haben wir irgendwie auch nicht anders verdient, ne? So eine verspätete Retourkutsche. I wish to learn more. Suffer? Pieces of self are burnt away. Yeah. I wish to learn. Before you can react, Ignus' claws lash out and clutch your left hand, and with a mad cackle and with a greedy hiss, he burns it, and through his finger, you close eyes and scream. Gleich nochmal. Wow. Diesmal 12.000. You force your hands open to see the burning mass of your hand from where Ignus touched it. Only a blackened stump remains, twitching, blood steaming from it. Ignus seems oblivious to your pain. His attention is devoted to your severed hand, which he is holding, admiring it like a trophy. Ignus, give me back my hand! Ignus ignores you. You watch as flames from his hands encircle your severed hand like a wreath, slowly burning the last remains of flesh from it, like a sculptor, until only the fused bone remains. He gives a long, low hiss and then flings his creation back to you. You manage to catch it in your remaining hand. You notice the flesh of your severed hand is reknitting itself, slowly, painfully. It looks like it's regrowing, ja. Das hat ja, wir regenerieren ja, aber trotzdem. What did you do?
Updated my journal.
Teachings. Okay, wir können schon nicht mehr so gut sprechen, aber I wish to learn more. Das wird ein schmerzhafter Prozess. Ignus hurls itself into the air, leaving a hissing flame trail as he rises. No more! Pieces of self are burnt away. Ignus, yet no more sharing will Ignus teach. Aber wir sind ja zum Glück modular aufgebaut, uns kann man ja auseinandernehmen. Können wir ihm ja noch ein paar weitere Teile anbieten. You need pieces of me in order to teach me? What about my eyeball? Ignus lashes out again, his finger like a spear, but he doesn't strike for the eye that you can remove. Instead he impales your other eye. Natürlich, er nimmt das Einzige, was noch funktioniert. Oder was noch mehr oder minder in Ordnung ist. Oder nicht... removable. There's no pain for a moment, only surprise. Then you scream, as Ignus lets loose a stream of flames into your socket. Ach Gott, das ist ja ekelhaft. They seem to eat into your skull. The hiss of burning flesh fills your nostrils and smoke clouds your vision.
I feel stronger.
Nochmal minus 2 HP, aber Level gewonnen. You force your eyes open through your bloodied vision, yet only one eye opens. You can barely make out Ignus hovering in the air in front of you, his hands cupping a small orb of flame in his hands. Your eye, seemingly untouched by the heat. As you watch, his hands cover the eye, and you feel a second burning pain in your eye socket. And suddenly, even through the searing pain, you see correctly again. Ignus opens his hand, and within it you can see the ruined mass of your eyeball, barely recognizable. Yet your eye is still in its socket. He cackles, and with a breath of flame, the eyeball rises from his grasp and drifts over to you, like a flake of ash in the air. Take the eyeball. Your eyeball.
Updated my journal.
I'm willing to suffer for more knowledge. You need pieces of me in order to teach me? What about the strip of my intestines? Die wir ja die gute Martha ja aus uns rausgeholt hat. Oh, 24.000. You need Ignus cocks his head as you hold up your intestines. Then he suddenly swoops in. Und es ist gut, dass die noch sozusagen noch frisch genug sind. Obwohl, sie sind ja unsterblich. Also sind die wahrscheinlich auch, vergammeln wahrscheinlich auch nicht. Swoops in and snatches it from your grasp. Holding it, he strings it between two hands, like rope. Oh god. And he hisses to himself. You watch the intestines steam as he holds them, turning black. And you feel a slow burning pain in your abdomen. Ja, das muss ja nur aber Phantomschmerz sein. Die sind ja nun nicht mehr in uns drin, also. Ignus strings out the intestines, handspan by handspan, and as he lets each length fall from his grasp, it starts rotating around him like a spiral, snaking in a slow pattern, each portion being roasted by his flames. There seem to be some dancing patterns to the way the flames are touching the strip of intestines, slowly blackening them, until it looks like a long string of charred meat. Oh Gott. Ihr fragt euch auch, was wir hier machen, ne, Leute? ja. Keine Sorge, das ist... wir sind... Don't try this at home, kids. We are trained professionals. The burning in your abdomen makes you wince, but it's nothing compared to the pain you felt when Ignus charred the other portions of your body. Natürlich nicht. You watch your burning guts spiral in Ignus' flames, then suddenly they gutter out and they fall into Ignus' hands. He gives the hiss and throws them to you. Much power is in an Immortal's organs. Take the charred intestines.
Updated my journal.
Schön. I'm willing to suffer. Also jetzt, soweit ich weiß, dürfte er jetzt uns nichts mehr bringen können. No more, okay. I see jetzt some other questions. About your teachings, about the torments I subjected you to. I'm sorry. Hätten wir das vorher sagen sollen, ne? Flames, no torments. Ignus slowly turns, twisting above the ground. He may have hurt you, but you don't know if the words meant anything to him. Und Supplicant, so haben wir ihn in der Vergangenheit genannt, als er noch ein kleiner Junge war und wir ihn da die Knochen gebrochen und verbrannt haben. Vielleicht sollten wir das nicht sagen. At least I tried. Well, for what it's worth, Ignus, I'm sorry you ended up like this. We will speak again later. Okay, das war gelogen. Wir werden ihn nämlich jetzt gleich rausschmeißen. Also wir haben jetzt hier Ignus Innards. Das ist ein Zauber. Infernal Shield. Gut. This is charred mouse intestines. Ignus has hinted that his chart remains for the fraction of his infernal power. When this occurs... Okay, lernen wir
It's
den.
in my spellbook.
Dann haben wir hier noch unseren Ignus Eye. Lost to use it to copy Ignus Terror into the spellbook. Machen wir auch.
It's in my spellbook.
Und dann müssen wir noch Ignus Hand, was ja unsere ist. This is your chart hand. Infernal Orb.
It's in my spellbook.
So, das müsste es gewesen sein. Und ich glaube, wir haben bei der Sache auch noch Fire Resistance bekommen. Ignus Charm haben wir auch noch. Seeking Flames, okay.
It's in my spellbook.
Lernen wir den auch noch. Ja, okay, dann würde ich sagen, das war unser kleines Ignus Interlude und im nächsten Video werden wir dann mal schlafen gehen und uns von unserem Kollegen hier trennen. Er hat jetzt seine Schuldigkeit getan. Okay, dann bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.